If you're struggling with planning your event, this video is going to hopefully help you a lot, especially for an outdoor tent event. My name is Jet with Dreamers Event Rentals, and I posted a video recently similar to this one, so I wanted to follow up and do another live edit with you right here, so check it out. Okay, so this one is going to be a bit different because we actually have a 2-tent setup, and I want to show you what that looks like. So this is a real client. They are reserved with us for an event actually next year. And the first thing we're going to need is to pull in our tents. So I'm going to show you here, this is a 2-tent setup. So this is a 30 by 30 frame tent, and we're going to drag this over. And then it's a second tent, which is going to be a 20 by 20 frame tent. So the one cool thing about our 30 wide and 20 wide and 40 wide frame tents is they're actually catered. So it's an engineered tent. It's a beautiful design. It's much better than the West Coast style frame tents that some, companies offer. But we don't like to skip corners. We don't like to, go for cheap. We want to give our clients essentially the best product can. So all of these designs have been, for the most part, 99% here have been built from scratch, made in-house. To give our clients super realistic visuals of their events. So let's just dive right in to grab all of our items first. If you didn't check out the first video, I've made quite a few, but I posted one so we need, and what's nice, I appreciate our office staff providing notes. Now I know exactly what goes. See me looking over to the side, it's simply just because I'm looking at the order itself. So one thing I actually want to do for a follow-up while I build this out, I want to talk over here and say that if you think that and feel that this is very helpful for helping you plan or design your own event, definitely let me know in the comments for one. But also, in addition to that, if you want to know pricing, that's something I want to add to kind of making these videos. It's nice design is, and the design factor is only half the battle. There's a whole lot more to event to it. And if you want me to break down pricing to show you exact all the events that we build on here, if you want to see what this might cost for your own event, let me know in the comments and I'll start doing some kind of price. So step one, it looks like our third kind of 20 by bar tent. So what we can do first is slide this over. Now this could get tricky because you're going to first see the first thing that I see, which is how close can we actually get here. The first thing I'm going to pay attention to is on a catered style tent such as this one is a 20 by 20. Every 10 feet, 20 feet. Every 10 feet, there's a leg, but on the 30 by 30, every 15 feet. Because if this whole side is 30 feet, then it's going to be 15 feet and 15 feet. So why that matters is when you go and look underneath of the tent and we're planning this thing out, we want to essentially line this up as best as we can so that there's not any leg right in the middle. But this, I see on the order here that the client has already received a site inspection. So our team has already been out to the property, and more than likely this client is very well aware of kind of the setup that we're building here. So I think for now, just to match this up here, that way we can put center leg with center leg. And then what I'll do is first I'll explode this, and I'll delete this stake out. So a lot of times, of course, it's going to be weather dependent. But a lot of times, let me make this unique and make it a group. This and delete. Okay. A lot of times when you edit one, it edits the rest, and I don't change the look. And then same thing with this. Let's take, see how it's editing that one down there. We don't want to do that. Explode this. Make this unique. Delete. Stake line, and this stake. So now we can press these two tents together real quick. And let's slide these back in. So now our stake lines won't get interfered with, but essentially what we can do is we can build these extremely close to each other so that you almost don't notice it. I'm not going to say you won't notice it, but we can get it pretty dang close to not notice. Because essentially what we do want, and worst case, you could always put gutters in the tents, and we could always reconfigure preventative of rain. But essentially for now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this dance floor, kind of go this way. And a lot of times you might be thinking, why are we doing time instead of, like our old post or where we do everything under one tent? Every event is different. So this is a 12 by 7. So here's our 12 by 16 dance floor, and we're gonna try to center that up just to make it look nice there. Let's actually slide this up a little bit, J in the back. So yeah, every event is different, and a lot of times first, when it comes to planning an event, you have to really think about what options you have. So you might have a wide open space in your backyard or your parents' backyard or wherever you're holding your event, but that might not be the case for everybody. So you're going to want to make sure you know kind of what your options are and work kind of around that for starters. So this says end bar tent. So we actually, I don't think we're going to be able to get our bar in here unless what we can do, we might just have to actually slide this over some. And I still think that's going to be a little, that's what's nice about these live edits. You get to see kind of what we go through when it comes to, and what all is involved in planning an event. So next up, let's go, might have to come back to the other tent. So we need a total of 6, we've got 4. I'm gonna make this unique. I'm gonna delete one here. And then I realized these are kind of in the grass, up and back down grass. Okay, now just kind of a simple note is you can fit essentially 9 tables in a 30 by 30 frame tent, 9 rounds. This is essentially taking up 2/3 of the tent already. We want to watch our space, we want to make sure that everything fits. That's kind of why we do these designs, the whole main focus of it. So if we slide these up a little bit to here, and then we put our food tables in the back, this is actually, now that I see this, this is going to be a tight design, very tight. So let's slide it about here. In our, sounds like Mickey Mouse, our mouse tool, our measuring tool here, we've got almost 3 feet. So even though it looks a little tight, that is a 3-foot difference, and people can still fit back. Little tighter than I want it to be. But like I said, this, I know I can see in the notes here that this already had a site inspection, which means our team went out to the property and assessed what tents can fit. Doesn't mean it's ideal essentially, but that is essentially what fits. So I think what we can do here is slide this over some, just give it kind of a sweetheart with all of the seating tables kind of built around here. And that's it for our table. And then we're gonna have to get our 6-foot bar table. So going over to our drink tables here, let's grab our 6-foot bar table. I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely a little tighter than I was thinking that it would be. But what happens if we slide this over? And again, like I've said in past videos, this is very closely fit to scale. I would say 95%, 90 something percent. So when it looks this close, chances are it's close enough to make decisions off of. So knowing this, we're gonna measure from here out. Really only have about a foot, not even. We might have to reach out to our client and check this out. But as of right now, this is not looking very comforting. Not enough space to move around, so to speak. But if this does allow us to get in our drink table, that is a big win for the time being. And what's awesome about SketchUp, most of the stuff in this entire program, I mean, I'll scroll out real quick. We have pretty much every style, every tent size that we carry, everywhere from sailcloth to 40 wide frame, 40 wide pole, and over to the 20 wides and 30 wides. So we have a large variety of tents here that we can connect and configure and make. Ceremony seating, rectangle seating, round tables, food, drinks, etc. But the one thing I can't take credit for is this drink table was provided in the 3D warehouse, so I did not act, but let's just double check. It's definitely getting a little tight, 12 feet 1 inch, so there it is. And then let's slide this up a little bit. Now it does say bar table. Sometimes that could just be a drink table. Sometimes there might be a bartender behind it. So if we do have a bartender here, maybe what we can do is kind of slant this just a little bit, be something like that. Slide this up. Just gives it a nice caddy corner look. You know there's probably going to be signs here, but that also gives a little bit of extra, just offset a little bit. So here is our design. It's a little tighter than I want. Like I said, let's slide this up because we do technically still have a little bit of space here. And I'm trying to think what we could do is we could always move this and turn it, but we could always move this down to here, and then we could slide these back and maybe put one table up here. But for now, let's just see. And again, this is the part that a lot of underestimate when it comes to planning an event, is like, sometimes it's not always on the first try. So what this looks like is we might have to send this to the client and then get their feedback. Say, okay, you know, this is a little bit tight. This is what a lot of times people think, you know, I could just assume that, we're gonna quote some stuff and add some things and send you a price, and then next thing you know, you're off to the races and you're good to go. Obviously, that's a dream in all of our scenarios, but sometimes it takes seeing is believing. So sometimes it takes showing kind of what it is and then making adjustments around it. For example, if we swap these out with rectangle tables, it'll add more room and more space in here. But for now, this is kind of what we're working with. And I'm sure we could definitely move some things around to make it even more functional. But we're going to send this to the client. I wouldn't call it a complete epic fail, but I definitely do think that this is a tight design. Like I said, the client basically went into reservation with us. So now we just need to piece some things together, get their feel and feedback on it, and make some adjustments from there. That way we can give the client exactly what they want. So if you like this video, if you found it helpful, definitely give it a thumbs up, but also comment down below what you found helpful if you don't mind. That way I can make better videos hopefully for you. And then like I said, if you want to see pricing kind of every time I make a design like this, what this actually cost in real dollars, let me know as well if you would find that helpful. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.